Some days are just plain better than others. Like any day you get to drive a Corvette Z06. As the little badge tells me, this car has 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque, and an automatic shifter. So let's take it for a drive and find out what it's all about. So this is it, the last front-engine Corvette. The Corvette Z06 gets a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 with push rods that makes 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. It is an absolute animal of an engine. It's interesting in that it makes similar power to a Hellcat, but it makes it entirely different. A Hellcat is a great car to punch it at like 3,000 RPM and ride the torque wave, whereas the Z06 engine is very much more a revving engine. This thing likes to rev, it lives at the high RPM. So when you punch a Z06, it really cams up and you can feel the boost right up to the red line, unlike a Hellcat. That is quite awesome, and I love this engine. On the highway, I'm getting as good as 8 liters per 100K, which is great, but man, if you are a city driver, this thing is a mobile fuel disposal unit. Not that I care at all. The C7, as you know, has been with us since 2014, and it has kind of been a game changer for Corvettes. It's the Corvette that changed all the rules. It's the first Corvette, in fact, to have a nice interior. The interior in this car is honestly kind of beyond fault. It's really good. This one has been upgraded with a suede package. I like the suede steering wheel, the suede on the dash. I do not like these insane competition seats I'm in. They are crazy. It's true, the bolsters do adjust. You can move them in or out, but even in their widest setting, I find them too constricting. There's also a lot of luggage space, as you can see by my luggage. There's also just not a lot of places to hide said luggage, but you're not buying a Corvette for the luggage capacity, you're buying it to drive. Another thing you cannot fault this car for is the grip. It has massive tires, 280 mil up front, 335 out back, just monster truck tires. It grips so well, and still with those huge steamroller rear tires, it'll get a little squirrely in the first 3 gears. It's fun though. Now, the one option this one does have that I'm not so hot about is the automatic. To get a perfect shift with this car, it has to be wide open throttle and just about near red line. And that sounds great. However, you don't shift like that all the time. And in anything else is lag. Watch, I'll pull a paddle. And it shifted. That, and another one, and it shifted. The lag, when you're at anything but full throttle, is annoying. The ride is also very harsh. Of course it is. It is a track-focused sports car. Should you buy one? You know what? If you are a track rabbit and you want to go to the track all the time, there maybe isn't a better car for the money. Corvette kind of owns this 70 to 120K price zone right now. There's not a whole lot in this zone that I would rather buy new than one of these, and you certainly won't find a car in that price range with more capability. In my opinion, this is about as good as it gets. Basically, every problem I have with this car can be fixed with the spec sheet. I don't like these seats. They're too narrow. You can spec the more comfortable GT seats and fix that. And I don't like this transmission, but you can just order it with a manual. You can fix that problem. So essentially, somewhere in that spec chart is the perfect Corvette for me. I'm sure there's a perfect Corvette for you. For Driving.ca, I'm Clayton Seams.